In today's video, we'll show you how to install two separate cable runs meeting at a corner post using HAAS stainless lag swage stops, swage studs, and straight post protectors. The first step in the installation process will require you to drill 1/2 inch diameter holes on one side of the post at the hole measurement marks that you previously marked using the marking template. In order to receive the best results, we recommend using a 1/2 inch spade bit to drill your holes, since they tend to drill fairly straight and clean holes. To start, set the drill at its highest speed and then level and center the drill bit to the best of your ability. Begin drilling your hole, ensuring that you partially back out the drill bit to clear any wood chips. Continue drilling until the hole reaches a depth of 1.5 inches. Once complete, drill the remaining 1/2 inch holes on the post. Next, we'll drill the 3/8 inch diameter holes that are needed for the swage studs on the opposite side of the post. Using a 3/8 inch spade bit, set the drill at its highest speed and begin drilling a little more than halfway into the post, ensuring that you partially back out the drill bit to clear any wood chips. Switch to the other side of the post and begin drilling until the two holes meet, making one clean hole through the post. Repeat this process for the remaining 3/8 inch holes at the post. The next step in the installation will be to install your lag receivers. Set your drill to its lowest setting and use a 3/8 inch hex socket bit to center and level the lag receiver in relation to the hole. Press firmly and begin drilling the lag receiver into the hole until it has been completely inserted and sits just below the surface of the post. You can also use a 3/8 inch hex key wrench or ratcheting wrench. With your lag receiver screwed into your post, slide the lag receiver cap onto the end of your cable so that its face is pointing away from the post. Insert the end of your cable into the lag swage stud cavity and push the cable in until it cannot be pushed in any further. Open the jaws of your Tyler tool hand swager and place the lag swage stud into the jaws of the swager that correspond with the size of your stud. Position the stud so that the jaws are correctly seated below the swage area mark on the stud and is flush with the end of the swage stud. Completely close the handles of the swager and make your first swage. Once complete, open the swager jaws, rotate the stop 90 degrees, and then make your second and final swage on the stud. Next, insert the stud and cable into the opening of the lag receiver until it hits the threaded hole at the back of the receiver, and then rotate the cable and stud clockwise so that the stud is completely threaded into the lag receiver and stops turning. Repeat this same installation process for the remaining lag swage stops at the post, and then follow this tensioning sequence when tightening the runs with whichever tensioning component you've installed at the opposite end post. To install your swage stud, slide a straight post protector onto the cable so that its face is pointing away from the post, and then insert the cable through the hole in the post. Pull the cable tight from the back side of the post, and then use a marker to mark the cable at the point in which it enters the hole in the post. Release the tension from the cable, and then use a second measuring notch on your swage stud to mark the cable approximately 3/4 of the way down from the mark you previously made on the cable. Using a Tyler tool cable cutter, cut the cable at the second mark you've made on the cable. Insert the cable into the swage cavity of the swage stud and make two separate swages at the swage area on the stud as previously done with the lag swage stud. Insert the swage stud and cable through the hole in the end post, and then slide the swage stud centering bushing over the threads of the stud and fit it into the hole in the post. Then thread the hex nut onto the stud and tighten it by hand as much as possible. Repeat this entire process for the remaining number of swage studs in the run. Once all of the cables are hand tightened, follow this tensioning sequence to start tightening your cables to the desired tension needed. Use a 7/16 ratcheting wrench or similar tool when tightening the nuts on the studs, and flat jaw locking pliers for the threads on the back of the stud to prevent the stud from turning when tightening the nut. Once complete, double check that each cable is holding the same amount of tension in relation to the other cables in your system. If not, retighten any loose cables until all the cables are equally tensioned. Using either a metal saw or angle grinder, cut off any excess Swage stud threading as close as possible in relation to the hex nut and be sure not to damage it. Once all of the threads have been cut, screw the Swage stud caps onto each bushing. When installed correctly, your corner post should look as shown.